I used to be real hyped on Helium, or as one guy in our Discord server says, high on Helium. But now, even the shirt pisses me off. Today we're going to talk about Helium, some updates in the Helium ecosystem, what's going on with mobile tokens and this IoT tokens, and how has Helium gone from having the HNT token to developing their own shitcoin ecosystem. My name is Vosk. I've been mining Helium for quite a while now. It's had its ups and downs, and then it really just started going down. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, potentially, for some Helium investors and miners, not all. We're going to break it all down today and more. Let's dig into it. My name is Vosk. You're on the Voskcoin YouTube channel. And I used to be just hyped on Helium. I really was. You know, we have like that bull run style hype, like huge growth incoming. Then a few months later, I had some videos like Helium mining sucks now and I'm regretting mining Helium. I'm going to talk about that in today's video. I'm going to talk about how a lot of people feel very similar in this video. I'm going to talk about some good things that are happening and some bad things that have happened. I had one miner that you could have bought for like 300 bucks and it made over $5,000 yesterday, or over 400 Helium coins, and I'm like, what? They've done away with so many cool things. Like basically there was a lottery thing where you could have basically mined a bunch of extra Helium, right? But that's just not the case anymore. They did away with that. They gave them to validator nodes, but now validator nodes are out because they failed at building their own unique blockchain, and now they're moving to the Solana blockchain, which we'll talk more about. The hotspots rebranded to IoT, and then we have these mobile 5G setups, and these 5G miners are very expensive to deploy. They cost thousands of dollars. A lot of people have been disappointed with just the attention and the love and the focus and development for the IoT Internet of Things aspect of Helium, and really that's why most of us got into it. I'm just kind of shocked that they would lay off the gas on that at all, especially before hitting the so cool and incredible milestone of 1 million hotspots deployed. Also with the simple fact that they burn HNT every time they're deployed, and that's the only thing that literally even happens on this network so far. Their value has been plummeting. They're trading at less than $5 per coin. Their market cap is $550 million, which is still a lot. The 24-hour trading volume is 2.5 million. But what I find odd and kind of bearish is this is very low trading volume for Binance International with this coin. And Binance US gets a surprising amount of traffic for the HNT trading pair, and it's specifically straight against the dollar, not even like a USDT pairing and so forth. Just to zoom out and put it into perspective right now, $100 will get you about 24 tokens. They are down 92% of their all-time high of $55. We really zoom this out and you can see that we are just headed straight down. And a lot of these changes are in line with market conditions. Most cryptocurrencies are down right now. And you don't need a Bart Simpson technical analysis to understand that. But looking at the fundamentals on this cryptocurrency have changed a lot. They've been getting a lot of bad press, like Embattled Helium is attempting a second act as a crypto-powered mobile network. You know, forget LoRa, right? Forget these long-range radio wave things. We got a Solana phone now. So the key takeaway, and this is what really was blasted across headlines: Source Helium Foundation. Credit revenue from IoT device demand over the past 30 days, $1,151. These IoT companies, they claim that they'll want to pay in actual money, not going to want to pay in some stupid third-party token that jumps up and down in value. And to be honest, the more tokens they integrate into their ecosystem, the less interesting it is for me and everyone else, right? So you got HNT, you got Helium, you got IoT coming soon, you got mobile, and you had like these data credits already beforehand and a lot of other things, and you jump and people need to wake up and get outside the Helium echo chamber and get outside the cryptocurrency echo chamber. People don't want 29 tokens in an ecosystem. It's not fun, it's not interesting, it's annoying. It's absolutely annoying from a consumer and just a outside company point of view. I get that and I agree with that. One singular token here made sense. You have one token, build the ecosystem around it, drive the use case, drive the value. Crypto darling Helium promised a people's network. Instead, its executives got rich. Wow. Now that is an FU headline. Helium ditched their own blockchain in favor of Solana after community vote. But the community votes in Helium are bullshit, to just be frank about it. It's just everything that they have proposed has gone through by very far. When you really look at all the Helium, the early adopters, users, team, Helium Inc., Nova Labs, also Helium Foundation, they control an insane amount of Helium. It's not a decentralized cryptocurrency. The early rewards were heavily just weighted towards, the early miners, right? Which was very easy to deploy a Helium miner in the beginning, and there were, say, a couple thousand of them, not almost a million. Think how much more Helium you'd be getting. That's kind of obvious and implied, and I get that, but at the end of the day, it still kind of gives you that centralized early adopter / team control, through the guise of decentralized voting. So Helium core team proposes migration to Solana. That went through, as we said here. And I just, this just kind of pisses me off. Like, there's a lot of negative things people say about Solana. I've been using Solana for years. We have guides on how to get started on Solana, using Phantom, things like that. Solana's interesting. I think Solana will be popular in the next bull cycle because a lot of projects are building on Solana, even though they do have uptime issues. But what made Helium so interesting was that they were building their own chain. To be honest, they were doing kind of a terrible job with all the outages and having difficulty scaling and things like that. That's like the interesting part. That's the potential opportunity to just be triumphant, right? Like, build your own chain. Like, Helium is just a Solana token now, and they have token mining, indirectly now, and then they're integrating their other, tokens like mobile and stuff, and it's so convoluted, it's so unenjoyable. I don't know how they don't see that. I wanted to have an interview with their founder. He wanted to come on the channel, and I think he wanted to lay into me when I just expressed my frustrations towards Helium and everything. And once I told him that it was going to be pre-recorded and not live, he just wasn't interested. And I think that was an opportunity. Like, a lot of people want to get other people in live situations, so you kind of attack them, catch them off guard. If I have a Helium debate with the Helium founder, I'm stepping into his arena, his realm. I'm not a big drama guy, I got nothing to prove. We don't need to battle. But basically, I just found the behavior kind of alarming, and it turned me off. Let's talk a little bit more about mobile token and everything that's going on with that, though. Right? So you get your 5G bundles. Everyone's got a bundle now. They got a sale. They got a deal. Miners went from being out of stock to, hey, here's a bunch of them. They had their Genesis, which basically encouraged all these core Helium miners and users to get in and earn a bunch of extra rewards, right? So if this mobile token somehow goes to $1, then right now your daily earnings would be almost 20 grand. That's indoor. Outdoor, almost 45 grand. High gain, almost 73 grand. Is $1 realistic? I don't think so, but let's just quick glance at that number, right? So now we have these guys potentially earning millions of dollars per day. Again, I don't think that's a realistic expectation. HeliumDeploy reached out to me. They've sent me a 5G bundle, same stuff they have. And so I'm going to deploy a 5G miner. I've been very hesitant to do so because I just haven't felt like spending $2 grand on this when next year they're going to start doing some other kind of form of mining, and I'm just going to be left with a worthless 5G bundle making pennies on the dollar, just like is the case with pretty much all of the original LoRa miners. And then you have the original hotspots, then you have these light hotspots, which are cheaper to produce and buy, and further increase the competition and decrease the rewards for Helium miners. I know I'm talking a little fast today, I'm a little fired up. To be honest, I'm genuinely frustrated. I thought Helium was so cool, and it's just been kind of pissing me off the last several months. which is why I've taken a step back from it personally, and also just not talked about here on the Voskcoin YouTube channel too much because I just haven't had all that much good to say. So here's an example of a bundle here, right? So you take this bundle, $2,500. They put an estimated mobile price here of 0.002, mobile token rewards of 641,000 over a month, which would bring your estimate of $1,300 per month, which means that you would have a 2-month payback on this. They have a buyback price, keep 20% of your rewards. I mean, this HeliumDeploy company is getting super aggressive. Honestly, I think that's kind of cool. If you really put your money and your time where your mouth is, I don't know why you put your time there, but I'm intrigued. Like these guys are like just crazy, just bullish on it, and I just don't share that same interest or enthusiasm. Again, I'm still gonna do it, but it's just really lost a lot of luster for me. You got a Helium dev here saying, hey, Helium's calling. You know what? Let's talk about that. So they had their recent partnership with T-Mobile. T-Mobile's trash. I hate T-Mobile. I had T-Mobile, and I was trying to make a call. Just a couple weeks ago, I was still on T-Mobile. I was trying to make a call. My phone didn't work for days. I rage quit T-Mobile. Their customer service is trash. Their prices are high. Their service is atrocious. I fucking hate T-Mobile, and I hope they burn. A lot of people who may not use T-Mobile may think that this partnership is exciting. I can tell you it's the worst cellular company available. I'd rather become a virgin again and get their mobile service. But unfortunately, I'm not eligible. I switched to a different top provider. I won't drop who because, there's all these SIM swap attacks and stuff like that. But let me know down in the comments which one you think I switched to. I'll tell you the service has been great and it's been much improved. And, like almost all of them have. I got a new free phone when I switched. But I want to know what your experience with your cell providers are. Whether it's T-Mobile or other ones, whatever, down in the comments below. But yeah, I don't want to sound like really mean and critical here, but we are just recreating like a pay-per-call phone, a prepaid SIM card, crypto edition. And if this didn't involve a new token and it was based around Helium, and keep in mind, we had the Helium data credits. There's already Helium data credits, Helium Mobile, Helium IoT confirmed. There's 4 tokens in this ecosystem. It's 3 too many if you ask me. I get a really unique lens into cryptocurrency, being not only a crypto miner, crypto investor, crypto trader, crypto user, we can add like 29 titles and try to get a cool Twitter bio, right? But also being a content creator. And so we had affiliate accounts with almost all of these Helium miner producers that were supposed to be vetted and approved by Helium, just to be very clear. And I had some misplaced trust in just their vetting process in retrospect. I've been very disappointed with the performance of many of these different Helium miner manufacturers. Most of these manufacturers and resellers still owe us money. Also, they've done some shady things. And, I understand, I'm not like trying to cry like, oh, they owe us money, whatever. I just want to illustrate that like that's a great example of them being a bad actor, and that's not something a non-affiliate would just really know or understand. Also, just kind of like their behavior. We became an affiliate with Minted, and they were supposed to be like the good guys, this and that, and then the market took a bit of a turn. They slashed our affiliate rate, basically said see you later, and just like a quick email, and then they just kept emailing me to ask me to like talk about them. And I'm like, dude, I don't really care about Helium right now. Most people don't really care about Helium right now. And you slashed my affiliate rate. And I'm not so like petty exactly that I'm like, oh, I'm not going to talk about Minted because of that. But I just want to share like their behavior in a quick email. My rate goes from 5% to 1%. Then they dropped their prices also. So, you refer a Helium miner, so you make like $2 after I pay taxes, and maybe I'll be lucky to clear $1. So yeah, like I really want to do that thing, like rip the shirt off, tear it, whatever right now, because it's got Rack, which is, a daughter brand of Minted and stuff like that. But your boy hasn't been hitting the gym enough in the bull run. And even though we've technically been in a bear market for about a year, gym routine just ain't been what it should be. So I'm gonna leave the shirt on today. Not gonna be like that stinky linky by Chainlink guy. Not today. I didn't fall off the handle that far yet.
Miss! I need you to buy Chainlink!
Nebra, a very controversial company, never paid us and won't respond to us. Syncrobit did the same thing. SPNA basically just ghosted us and deleted our stuff. Cowchip finally paid half and said the other half was refunded. I still been fighting with Syncrobit to be like, what is going on with our limited edition? You know, this was such a cool opportunity to try to bring a limited edition custom branded Helium miner with our custom made graphics. I think this was really fun, really cool to bring it to market just in the absolute heat of Helium mining, and when everybody was dying for more miners, myself included. But they don't respond to me, and the situation is just very frustrating. The most recent response I got about a week and a half ago was that they've been dealing with refunds, fulfilling other orders, and this is one of the next things to be produced. I understand people are pissed about it. If you want a refund, you need to just keep contacting Syncrobit and just keep contacting them, and I'll drop some more information on that down in the video description below. But you know, the takeaway here is I've made $0 from this. I don't even have one. We got one from someone who was accidentally shipped this miner, and we got one in, you know, temporarily from him just to take some pictures of it and B-roll it. It was missing the serialization. That was a claimed mistake from their factory that he even got that miner. You know, again, I'm very pissed. I'm very frustrated, and took a gamble with this and lost. Bobcat and Minted turned us down. This was our next option. Syncrobit was interested, but this has probably been the most brand damaging thing in Voskcoin's history. Beyond frustrating. To be clear, we never took any money. We just linked up with them for a collab. It's like when a basketball guy goes to Nike and he's like, yo, get my shoes. Or like whatever other kind of collaboration, right? Like, we made the design. They handle literally everything else, from collecting the money to making the miner to shipping the miner. You know, it just sucks. It just sucks. Nothing really great I can say here. I'm sorry. They will refund you if you beat their door down. So, hey, that's all I got today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. You know, I feel like we're in like a sobering period. Like, it's like I was like just myself and many others were just drunk on Helium in the bull run. The token was going up. The miners were super profitable. It was fun. It was exciting. New news and rumors and developments all the time. Yes, yes. And now, like, Helium has changed the direction of their project big time. The outside point of view is they're just putting lore over there. Like, okay, yeah, we did that, cool, whatever. Now it's all about 5G. Who knows what token they're going to spin up next. Still dealing with the outfall of some of these miners. I know some people are still waiting on some miner deliveries. It's sobering, it's frustrating, and it reflects on the token's price. So, hey, that's all I got today. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please subscribe, stick along, because I will be doing some more Helium mining in the future. I mine every cryptocurrency I can. I can tell you I'm not going to be building a Helium mining empire like I contemplated before. I would never heavily invest into Helium mining again. A lot of miners that I bought, you know, later on, I didn't make my money back on or even close. I got a little aggressive with it, but I'm glad I did also see the writing on the wall, which I talked about many times on the channel. And I was dumping those Helium tokens. Well, unfortunately, a lot of people rode their HNT very far down. As it stands, I'm just letting the coins pile up. And when we get some good prices, I'm gonna throw all those coins out the window, get some good old BTC and whatever other cryptocurrencies I want long term. My point of view, 2 cents, whatever, not financial advice, not investment advice. You have a good one. See you later.